Hey guys, John and Tony back here with the Freewing AL37, which is, as we all know, a 737 MAX. For a while there, it was the only 737 MAX flying in the continental US, or pretty much anywhere in the world. Beautiful model. Tony and I both worked on this one. He helped me get the decals on. I did the sanding and painting, including, I'm very proud of the snoot where I got that nice curve on it, because that took some curved masking tape work. Wasn't easy, but it was fun. I've always wanted a Delta Classic airliner. It was always my favorite scheme as a kid, playing Microsoft Flight Simulator 95. We're gonna be flying on a 6,100C Z-Pack. This is one of Tony's batteries from his old F-18. And these things put out power. They're so good. I love them. We're gonna just shove it in the center of these 2 points. We got a lot of tail weight in the back, and I've already rearranged the internals of this jet so that I'm just using ribbon cables, yet I have full control over all of the flight control surfaces. So I can actually have full flaperons, full Tailerons. Oh, that's interesting. Why are you beeping? I was upset that the throttle stick was slightly pushed up. That's all it was. So before we start, so we got our normal rates on here for ailerons, but when I throw switch D2, we have flaperons and Tailerons. It's absurd, but it helps the jet move. It looks like an airliner, but you know, it's obviously a piece of foam.
Flaps 50.
So we're gonna take off with half flaps here, and we're gonna have our 2,000 subscriber celebration flight.
Flaps gear up. Taileron.
There we go. Use the control surface mixing that I've got to get this thing to really roll. It's much more fun to control like this. Look at the roll rate with it.
30 seconds.
Now with it off.
Wing normal.
If I was too close, that's why I roll like that. If I was too close to those trees, I would have not been able to pull up. I would have pulled the stick back and automatically stalled into the ground. Let's do a nice slow flyby with the flaps deployed all the way. A little turbulent out here.
Flaps up.
It's one of the most beautiful foam models you can get, man. Especially when you give it a nice gloss coat of Minwax. I hand brushed this whole thing. That took several hours of work, but just like the rest of this jet, it was a week-long project. It was worth every little bit.
Flaps full. Gear down. Flaps gear up.
Buttered. Could have been a lot smoother if I hadn't, you know, sunk into the ground as fast as I did, but you know, getting them pre-flight, post-flight, current flight jitters out of the way. Let's make her go up and do something really cool that you never see an airliner do, which is a proper tail slide. Looks like a giant whale. Let's check the inverted performance too, because I might want to do an inverted gear pass with it. I gotta use almost full stick to keep it up, man. But you gotta do it for that content, am I right? Am I right? Let's see if I can get her to do it. I'm gonna use the full
Taileron.
Full mixing for this so I can actually roll out of it if I get too low and can't correct.
2 minutes.
Yeah, about a half stick. Snaps right out of it. Now, I don't know if I want to do a wheels up pass. That would probably cause issues. Knife edge. Doesn't look like a knife edge, but I am holding full or close to full rudder on that pass. Let's check the voltage.
Battery 21.83 volts.
Okay, that's probably not the best of idea to run the battery down, so let's let it cool down just a sec. And we're gonna go see if I can make a nice long knife edge pass with it with some high speed. I don't want the airframe to disintegrate, but I do want to see it do something cool. Okay. Let's throttle up, get some speed, go downwind. It's so quiet too, man. Whoa, 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 there we go.
3 minutes. Battery 21.11 volts.
As I get more comfortable with it as we fly it today, I'll probably get lower with it and do other crazier stuff, but never compromising safety.
Gear down.
Okay. It looks like a real airliner up there, like
Flaps
something's
full.
coming to Raleigh-Durham International. That's so cool, man. A little bit of porpoising with the flaps. There we go.
Battery 22.5 volts.
Look at that approach. Nice and stabilized.
Spoilers.
There we go. Couple bounces there.
Spoilers disarmed.
That's a solid, what do you want to call it? A Ryanair out of 10? Not bad. Come on, baby, turn
Battery
around, turn around.
22.75 volts.
Can't get her. I gotta go walk and get her. It's always something with this place. This is actually not 17 feet wide, it's 14 feet wide. I checked it.
Flaps gear up.
A little bit on the scrapey side of things. That's why I put a little bit of
Battery 22.83 volt. Taileron.
a little bit of tape on the tail to keep it from doing that, or from damaging the skid on the tail. That's what it's there for. So we got the Taileron mixing enabled right now. The jet really, really, really rolls well like this. I mean, look at it go.
Battery 23.1 volts.
Go straight into invert it.
5 minutes.
Flip it right out of it.
Wing normal.
And turn the Taileron mixing off and the Flaperon mixing off. We don't currently need it. We're gonna come in and do a nice, slow, actually
Battery 23.33
do a
volt.
quick touch
Gear
and go
down.
with Tony there, because he can get a sweet catch of this footage. Yeah, we really appreciate all you guys for subscribing. I figured for 2,000 subscribers, I had to bring the big bird back out.
Flaps
I
full.
don't bring her out much because she takes over the entire back of my vehicle, so it takes a bit of effort to get out. He's a smart guy. He knows this thing's coming in to land. He should be able to see the landing light.
Battery 23.22 volts. 6 minutes.
Oh yeah, I carried that.
Gear up.
Carried that butter all the way over.
Taileron.
Turn the Taileron back on to get some nice roll response. It's just a foam airliner, guys. It's not a real one, so why not have it fly as good as you can get it to fly? Try to make it do inverted alpha, but it will not hold the nose up.
Battery 22.66 volts.
Does pretty sweet tight loops when it does the tail slide, though. Knife edge. Almost does stall turns too.
Battery 22.66
Yeah, if you leave the Taileron
volts.
mixing on, the plane is much more agile. So by Taileron mixing, I really mean to say shorthand for the elevators act as ailerons and the flaps act as flaperons, but they only move down.
7 minutes.
It's got a nice slow pass right in front of him.
Flaps up. 21.68 volts.
Looks like we gotta get ready to land already. If you guys have never flown an AL37, it's not a hard plane to fly, but it does have a very nasty stall, like a lot of these swept wing planes do, like the Viper. And it will drop a wing, and it won't hesitate to do it if you bank too much and pull it too, and your airspeed isn't quite there, and you hit critical angle of attack, it's gonna spin. And it ain't gonna be good.
Battery 22.71 volts.
There we go. Forgot to deploy the flaps until halfway through there. Man, she takes
up.
every little bit of this runway.
Steering -18.
Let's see if I can get her to turn around. Catch up with Tony here. I should be able to get it now that she's like actually moving on the grass. Come on, baby, you can do it.
Battery 22.78 volts.
Oh my God, I think I got it. You had to goose her around the whole time, but I got her. Look at her come back. Finally got that regal, majestic glory of the 737 MAX. All right, guys, we're back with the Freewing 737, which is grab some grass. Let's get that off there. The jet is ready to go with a 5200 50C Z pack. We're not going to waste a lot of time. Tony's got to get going home, and it's getting hot out here, so let's move on. Get a better takeoff this time. Look at it gently lift up. We're going to spend some time doing some landing approaches as we burn through this battery pack. Look at her go. Let's get below the sun there. You can see her casting a shadow on the terrain.
30 seconds. Ailerons 8 right.
A little bit of a roll we got to correct. That's okay. Okay, we're going to start our turn here and drop the gear. If you ever want your own airliner, guys, this is the one to get. Get the base white version. You can put your own decals on it, paint it whatever way you want. It's so nice.
Flaps full.
Full flaps coming in. It's on a 4-second timer, I believe. There's the ballooning. There we go. Once the ballooning's over, it stops doing that. I could probably do half flaps and then go to full, and it wouldn't balloon as fast. Give the airflow more time to change over the wing. Okay. Wheelie for a bit. Oh yeah, right through that bit of grass. We just got to be careful if we suck up too much grass, we're not going to have any thrust. And hopefully it won't be an asymmetric thrust problem, because then we're really going to be in doo-doo.
Elevator 22 up. Elevator
Get a little bit more
18 up.
trim. I took some weight out of the tail that I had added previously, because I remembered that I'd shifted all the wiring back with the new setup that I did to it.
Down.
So the center of gravity is a little bit where I want, closer to where I want it to be. It's still nose heavy, but not so tail heavy that we're going to have issues like what I did with the Viper, where it's just going to crash randomly and we don't know why.
Battery 22.91 volts.
Yeah, we're not going to get more than maybe 3 or 4 of these.
Flaps full. Flaps 50.
Okay, 50 flaps, then go to full
full.
flaps and see if it porpoises. A little bit. Maybe I just have the flaps coming out too much.
2 minutes.
But if that doesn't look scale, I don't know what does. Look at it come in with no wind.
Flaps up. Gear up. Battery 21.8 volts.
Yeah, we're running out of power quick, man. Maybe it's this warm weather, I don't know. Or maybe I'm just having to hold it up more, who knows.
Elevator
A
20
little
up.
more trim.
Elevator 22. Elevator
There we
20
go,
up.
I'm happy with it now.
Battery 22.43 volts.
We'll do this a couple more times and then we'll call it quits for today, guys.
Gear down.
Hopefully I can get my friend Ryan out so he can do a drone chase. I've been wanting to do that for you guys for a bit, get a nice, really good drone chase of this model, because it just looks amazing in the air.
Flaps full.
Look, there's another 737 over to its right, too. For a second there, they almost looked like they were the same scale. All right, here we go. Holding up the power a little bit, very, very little thrust, but just enough to keep the descent managed.
Battery 22.
Something magical about having your own airliner.
Flaps up. Gear up. 3 minutes. 21.78 volts.
Yeah, we might have one more approach left after this, and then we got to call it quits. I don't have custom ESCs in here.
Battery 21.58 volts.
So we will run into an issue where
21.97 volts.
yeah, we're gonna make this the last approach. Last thing I want to do is LVC.
Gear down. Battery 22.29 volts.
Yeah, we still have more power than I think, but I don't want to break this plane already. Look at her come in. Look at that approach. God.
Flaps full.
Why can't I get this? Oh, I know why I can't get it this well, because I have to fight turbulence a lot of the other times. There's no wind right now, so like this is what smooth flying really should look like. Look at that thing come in like butter.
Spoilers. Flaps up.
There we go.
Battery 22.6.
You know, like I said, guys, we just hit 2,000 subscribers, and this jet is brought out for major milestones like that because you guys are worth the effort of bringing it out. It usually just hangs up in my hangar, but you know, we really appreciate all you guys for all you've done to help us grow this channel. And let's get her back. I look forward to doing more stuff with her. One of these days, she's probably gonna wreck if I don't keep her permanently mounted. We'll see how that goes, but in the meantime, I'll keep bringing it out. I do want it to last until Wings Over Springs in September, so I can fly it at that AMA sanctioned event. That'll be cool. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and call it quits here, but real quick before we sign off, let's get a scale comparison between me and this jet, because I'm 6'4", and this thing is a monster compared to me. So 6'4", 194 centimeters. Look at the size of this beast in comparison to me. Isn't this crazy? It's massive. I'm pretty tall. I'm almost a giant compared to a lot of people. So this jet almost makes me look small. And those ESCs are quite warm. It has one hell of a presence in the sky. We really appreciate you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe if you found this content useful, and tell a friend too if you could. See you guys out there.